What is up, guys? It's OP Gaming here, and I have an awesome little review video for you guys here. Now, some of you guys may have so many games on your Xbox that you just are like, I don't feel like playing these types of games. I just want to pick it up and play for maybe about 20 minutes and then put it down. Now, this game right here is absolutely just like that. Now, I'm not expecting much of you to click on this video just for the fact that you would have to be searching for Tembo. Tembo is like that of an arcade version of Rambo. It's absolutely insane, but instead of Stallone, we get a friggin' elephant. Now, Tembo recently went on sale, and me and my brother decided, why not? I mean, it's $6. Originally, it is $15, and we watched some of the videos on it on Marketplace, and we were just like, why not? Needless to say, this game was a surprise that was well needed. I mean, it is a lot of fun. I mean, it is considered a platformer game, and most people who've ever played Sonic knows exactly what a platformer game. Get from point A to point B, going through, over, and under obstacles while trying to defeat certain enemies in the way, kind of like Mario and whatnot. Tembo is quite actually an amazing game in the fact that each level is beautifully crafted in its own manner. It has kind of like a, what would you say, an old Cartoon Network feel to it, where the background image is beautifully created, and even to the platforms that you're jumping on. Now, there are bowling balls that you can play with and destroy and wreak havoc on while you're doing this, and those are equally as awesome as well as the enemies. This elephant, Tembo, is a character that you immediately start to enjoy, and his gameplay is equally as such. Because, like how all elephants, they're kind of slow. I mean, I've never really seen an elephant in person. I rode one when I was a little tiny toddler, but I don't necessarily remember it. So in my mind, I'm thinking elephants are kind of slow when they walk. And that's how Tembo is. He's slow when he walks, but he makes up for it in his quote-unquote charge ability, where his tusks grow large and he gets this little comet-looking tail behind him and he flies through obstacles and even enemies. So Tembo does have a storyline, and it's kind of just it's not lackluster, but it's in the back of your mind kind of thought to where it gets the point across with relative ease without being the most ridiculous amount of storyline in a little thing. And with all comic book versions of stories, there's not necessarily a lot of text involved in using a comic style artistry. It lets the player know what's going on in between levels, just a perfect amount. While controlling Tembo, the main ability that you will use is charge or dash, and it allows you to smash through soldiers, walls, platforms, pretty much everything that gets in the way of this elegant elephant. So in almost every level of Tembo, there are about 10 civilians to rescue that are in these glass cages of some sort that are sometimes hiding in these off-the-path secret areas. Now, when you break open these cages, they kind of hitch a ride on Tembo's back, like riding him like a bucking bronco to safety. It's actually quite glorious to watch. The more people you save, the more people that ride on his back. And like I said earlier, it's quite fun to watch them ride Tembo while he plows through some debris or enemies. This is one reason why I absolutely love this game. It is a game that is a play whenever, stop whenever kind of arcade. Each level that you complete, you go on to the next level, and then you get to the end of the storyline and you realize, oh my gosh, I want to complete this 100%. I want to get all the civilians and all this stuff. In order to do that, you actually have to save all the civilians, but you also have to destroy or kill all of the phantoms on that level as well. It makes for nice replay value. Now, the list of moves that you can use while playing Tembo it isn't a lot, but it helps get the job done. Charging, like I said earlier, obviously. Then there's uppercut, where your trunk literally turns into a hammer to get those pesky flying enemies or whatnot. There's a savory slide kick that is so much fun to use while a bullet is coming after you and you're like, Wah! There's a ridiculous roll that I have used so many times on accident because you jump in the air and you accidentally click X and you go straight into a death hole and you die and you have to restart. So I've raged a lot on that roll. But then there's also, since he's an elephant, you can spray water from his trunk that helps put out fires and even daze enemies. And the dazing enemies is a lot of fun to do because you can make them dazed and you can kill them afterwards. It's fun. So you don't gain new abilities as you progress in the storyline or the levels, but you start off with all of them at your disposal. But in saying that, each level will push you into thinking of what way to use your ability to finish level or finish getting all the collectibles or finish off a boss. Now, visually, I would have to say Tembo is it does an outstanding job with its cartoon comic book style of art. And there's text if you play the game, or if you're looking in the background and I'm smashing through some stuff, there's text for the sound effects that will follow Tembo's destruction that is actually quite oddly satisfying. The gameplay is pretty great with little hiccups here and there, but it doesn't do anything to the playability or the controls of Tembo. So all in all, Tembo is a great game that I personally like a lot. It is pretty darn cheap, $15 on the marketplace, but when it is on sale, you can get it as cheap as I got it, which was $6, and I most definitely think that this game is worth $6 for the replayability and the, quote-unquote stop-and-go play style. I really like that, and I personally look forward to more of Tembo in the future. And I just enjoyed this game. I mean, I haven't completed it all the way. My brother completed it because he has more time than me. But if you guys are looking to get for a game that is a stop-and-go, kind of arcade scroller platform game, Tembo is most definitely a game that I would push in your direction, mainly because there's a friggin' elephant that destroys everything, and there's bowling balls, and there's enemies that you can kill and stuff like that. It's a fun game. I mean, why not, right? But anyways, guys, that's my review of this awesome little arcade game. The only problem with this game that I would have to say, and my brother pointed this out earlier, is the loading screen. The loading screen from the very beginning, when you start loading up the game immediately, it has a ridiculously long loading screen. But once it's past that, then it's perfectly fine. But that loading screen is ridiculously long. But that's one con out of many pros. I think this is an awesome game. Guys, go purchase it if you want. If not, that's okay. Give this video a thumbs up if you think Tembo is an incredible elephant, if you've ever played it, and thumbs it up if you're thinking about getting it. Anyways, guys, like and subscribe, and I shall see you later, sucker fish.